the Tower. This is Season 2, Episode 5, titled Horizons, and I am your storyteller. It is my honor to bring a story with these wonderful people here, and hopefully they can have some better luck than last time.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
The
whoa. Come- Wasn't that bad?
the the channel does not have any new announcements, though. There are still some things working in the background, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. And we will begin with letting these wonderful people introduce themselves. And I guess we'll start with Quinn tonight.
Well, it's an honor. Hello, folks. My name's Quinn. You can find me on the Twitters at QSellers with the Mercenary Storyteller. And last week wasn't that bad. Did we almost die? Sure. But is this the world of darkness? Come on. Who doesn't that happen to? But I'm looking forward to seeing how we overcome these obstacles this evening.
We shall overcome. That's what they tell me. Next up, we have Ari.
Hi, I am Ari. We did survive last session, so there's bonus points in our favor. But I will be playing Elias tonight. You can find me a small shadow snack for all of my possum-related shenanigans. It's fine.
And last but certainly not least, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kira858. I may have to be the one person in the group to say we may need to raise our goals a bit in just survival. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. And I'm playing the wonderful Chiharu Samson, and of course, with their fellow favorite friends. He was one of them is stepping the dangerous path of Bellfire and Brimstone. So we'll see how things go. I look forward to the session.
I think you mean to say thank you, but it's fine.
No.
No. Now that our cast has been introduced, it is our friendly reminder that the World of Darkness can be a dark and painful place to be. So should something happen that you need to step away for, please feel free to pause, mute, do whatever you need to do. I've spoken to these wonderful people about what keeps them comfortable, and we will move forward together to hopefully have a better day today, but we'll see. But now that our warnings have been done and our hopes have been expressed, we shall move forward. The three of you find yourselves standing in the teleportation room. It is a small room, no windows, and a single set of bronze double doors, about 10 feet in height. There are a group of mages that you all would recognize, being from the Euthanatoi, each one holding a very long dagger-like blade with a serrated edge. And as to see the three of you appear, they relax, but they don't fully step back. And the first one looks at each of you. You are returning?
I know we're picking up from last game, so I think I'm just like holding everyone else, just going, like finally exhaling. Yes, yeah, we'll have. I'm kind of checking myself. Yeah, we're back.
I would remind you that you should let someone know, but I get the feeling you all experience some difficulties. Do you need anything?
An army would be nice, but I think that would be
I didn't want to say it. Yeah, an army would be nice. No, I mean, looking at my character sheet, I know I took a lot of damage last game, but I don't have any damage now because I know I healed up. But mentally, I still think I need some healing. Like, how's everybody else looking? Is it just me? Or did anyone else take some hits?
Oh, I took some hits. But I'm Chiharu is a little bruised, but nothing extreme. But they definitely took some hits. Chiharu was just waiting for the right time to be able to heal himself, but he was being more cautious towards you two. But yeah, he also looks towards Elias and says, "How are you feeling?" I tried my hardest to take the blunt of conflict. So
I mean, I'm tired, but other than that, I am physically well.
good. Eric?
And Eric kind of just thinks back on all the events that led up to now, which in his case were very personal to him. And even though he's not physically damaged, he'll respond, I think I need some rest.
Before that, you may wish to talk to someone about the item you carry. I'm not certain. If they look towards the Euthanatos? Sorry, how you pronounce it?
Euthanatos.
Euthanatos. Okay, sorry, I flipped the pronunciation. Euthanatos. Are they grilling or eyeing the staff by any way? Like, do they recognize?
It's 100% packed away. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, the mages. I'm pretty sure it can sense. I mean, it doesn't take hard to do a quick aura.
I've been here for like 3 or 4 months experimenting with this thing, and no one's came to claim it yet.
That's true. That's true. So presumably they're not.
As you say that, I'm like.
From looking at them, they seem to be relaxed, though I would say, Chiharu, with your experience with combat, you recognize the posture of trained relaxation. It is clear that although they are relaxed, they are also very ready to attack should they need to. It is that kind of Bruce Lee-esque body control. And I would say, since Eric has a bit of history with them, you are aware that these Euthanatos belong to the official and unofficial police force for the traditions. You know that conducting research on objects like these staff isn't officially illegal. However, you would be aware that balefire, as the werewolves call it, is infernalism adjacent. It is very close to infernalism. It is an ability that a lot of infernalists do receive, but it is not technically infernalism. It's very close.
So,
I do kind of interrupt Chiharu a little bit, like, I hear what you're saying, and you might be right. I may be in over my head a little bit, and I see that now. But what just transpired, I wasn't in control of my faculties all the way, if that makes sense.
Oh, I understood entirely. It was an multiple ordeal where you seem to have been controlled by an exterior force. Fortunately, it seems to be.
Yeah, more than once, as
Exactly.
I like holding my face, like, thanks for kicking the shit out of my possession. Appreciate that. It could have been worse, I guess, if I didn't have friends like you. Oh.
And that is a reminder that I wish to investigate to find a more or a less painful process to handle that ordeal. Elias, are you familiar by chance with how to address a circumstance like that without causing pain?
Well, you could disrupt his brain patterns a little bit, which
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did.
Without the assault.
That'd be great. Yeah, if we could learn that together as a group.
Yes.
We could, or we just,
I don't know what is this? What does this mean?
I'm gonna bop you on the back of your head with my laptop next time.
But that's the
We
thing.
already learned that one. That's a skill Chiharu already
Yeah.
used. Like
Yes,
that's the technique
but
he
I
used.
feel like my laptop will hurt less than his fist.
Oh yes, yeah. If you could hit me with a brick or something, it would hurt less than,
I
Chiharu's
mean,
foot.
I would have to like I'm not a doctor, but I would have to look into mind patterns and all of that stuff.
Yeah, if we could find something between possession and after getting kicked, an out of body experience. If we could find a way to not do either one of those and just stay kind of right in the middle, that'd be ideal, I think, for everybody's safety.
I do not mean to listen on your conversations.
Yeah, you do. It's okay.
However,
We're stopping right in front of you. I understand.
if you are concerned about mental defenses, I would suggest you speak with a member of the Akashic Brotherhood. They tend to have a strong insight into the sphere of mind. They are officially holding the seat on whatever is left of that council, and they tend to have good ways to bolster your defenses should you need the extra assistance.
By tradition. Would you all be willing to take a trip there? Oh, I'm presuming we all will wish to rest and regroup, since today was such a long day.
I would say, at the very least, yeah, let's retreat for the evening for some rest and reconvene tomorrow.
I do feel like, as risky and as dangerous of an event as it was, we were able to obtain some decent information. But a warrior will always encounter others greater than themselves, more powerful, stronger, faster in many ways. And the best way we could do is analyze their strengths and see how we could be able to manipulate it. We could come ahead in our next event. So I just wish to cheer you all up to say it wasn't an all lost ordeal. We were able to obtain nice insight on who we're dealing with. So.
The means of which we collected this information probably could have been a little bit better.
200% agreed. I just because I wished to. I think Elias and I were both more into the information gathering process, but we understood your desire for wanting to. I think the movie was called Die Hard, where they go in guns blazing. So we wanted to pursue that since it was your interest. But next time, we may have to stick with our guns. Don't you agree, Elias?
1,000%. We should go in like full army next time because I didn't know they could do the mind stuff. That's interesting to know. Also, at least we know who has it, where he's at, and I don't think he's going to get rid of it anytime soon.
Yeah, the possession was definitely new. All of your other points, actually, we knew ahead of time. So I'm not quite sure if that's new information, but the fact that Enzo was able to so quickly and with ease follow us into the Umbra was a surprise.
Chiharu turns his head towards the Thanatos and says, "What is the Chantry's defenses against vampires entering this establishment?"
It's a good point. If we have a door, we should probably lock it. We should have mentioned that first. Yeah.
I am unable to explain the defenses of the Chantry to members not of significant standing, but I can assure you that at least one of the Archmages are here on the off chance that there is a threat that needs to be dealt with that is unable to be dealt with by the rest of the security. We are quite capable of dealing with most threats, from outsiders.
That was good to know. I will be honest, I was unaware that vampires could travel into the Umbra, as Eric so mentioned earlier. And if someone as powerful as this individual is, I'm presuming there are others of his stature that may pursue possibilities as well, which gives me pause as to how bloodthirsty and cruel their intentions may be. Little harm or regard to the innocents. Them attempting to track this location or find it out or pursue, whatever they may be in this chantry. It just comes to mind that they could easily attempt to enter this location or try to anyway. So it's good to know that there may be protection in place.
I can assure you we are well prepared for most threats. The undead do possess a few abilities. It is, from my understanding, not exactly common that they can cross the barriers, but I have heard of some of their older beings able to do so. There are not too many that have attempted to cross any of us in recent memory, but there are tomes dealing with fighting against them.
Would you happen to know where these tomes may be?
A good deal of them belong to the Order of Hermes. I may be able to see if all libraries possess any. We have clashed with a few of the undead who deal with spirits previously. I do not recall too many of the details, but I do know a few of our elders that may be able to assist with such information. Oh, the price of a student would need to be paid, of course, but knowledge is available.
Oh, see, what type of currency do we have here in the chantry? Or like, do we pay like Mage dollars?
No, you know that
It's like a
you all would know.
cryptocurrency.
Right? I was like,
You all would know that there are two options. One, you can always negotiate a payment with another person for whether it's in money or physical things like you would purchase anything else. You also know that mages have a system of I can't pronounce that word, but they have a system of debts very reminiscent to that of vampires in other worlds. You can offer different favors to be cashed in at later dates. You know that as you become older, obtaining the worldly desires becomes much easier, but a favor from a mage is much more valuable as time goes forward.
Boons?
Yes.
yeah, it sounds like boons pretty much.
Yes. It is effectively OOC for other people. You may remember this as a form of boons from other World of Darkness games. It is effectively the same thing. May just not call them the same, if I recall correctly. But yes, there's a system of boons that need to be paid, and there are consequences to not paying them.
Are they like official, like where they're written in books, like in vampires, or is it more just like a verbal agreement per se?
They can be official. They are just called debts generally. Smaller ones are typically handled individually. Two people can agree on small favors without really recording them. Major favors can be recorded. There are many different ways to do so for a magician. Whether it is both magically and mundane. Mages do not typically have to write them down because there are more than a few that are able of seeing through time to verify the veracity of such agreements. And there is a system of, if you violate them, there is a system of justice that can be extracted, including duels and other things. It is generally negative to go back on them. There are more details, but you would need to do some rolling to see exactly what you know about that area.
I mean, this isn't really for me. That doesn't fit Chiharu's ordeal, but just in case, some of our more chaotic fellow comrades in crime, you know, just in case there was a curiosity, you now know what they can play with.
Hey, Michael's not here. You gotta.
Perfect. Yeah, so Chiharu will look towards Elias and Eric and says, well, I just like you, I'm planning on getting some rest. If you're needing healing assistance immediately, we can head to, what is the Akashic's location called in the Chantry? I'm pretty sure there's like a title given to it.
Yes, it is called by most the Mountain, but it is you would know it as the Mountain of Duality. It is a kind of mountain that is located deep within their particular wing of the Chantry. When you went to visit your elder, you were able to transport to a higher part of that mountain. Your companions would not be able to follow you into it that way without receiving special permission. And they would need to climb basically the bottom of the mountain and go up to visit it, or else it is considered rude and could cause other issues.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the Bloods and the Crips. We all have our own little lines, and no one can be able to cross. So Chiharu says, you all, if you desire healing in the meantime, in immediate fashion, you can let me know. We can meet in the lower levels of the mountain, where I could be able to perform healing traits without it being problematic to reality, and I can get you up to snuff.
Luckily, physically, I'm well, but I thank you for the offer. Just a good night's rest, I think, is what I need.
Elias, I'm glad we were able to keep you safe. I know you were just along for the ride, and the fact that you came out with no scars.
And a new laptop.
I have to go modify this thing.
It's an Apple.
No, I've got to ensure the problem can follow us again.
Chiharu for the first time is just like,
it's entirely fine. I'm going to ensure that it pings my location somewhere else.
Maybe multiple somewhere else's.
Like multiple somewhere else. I plan on giving them a particular hunt. I hate those guys.
Maybe you should just go offline for a little bit. Just throwing it out there.
No. Why don't you not mess with anything entropic? Then, well, if I'm offline, you don't deal with anything entropic.
Deal.
Okay.
Will there be a handshake with this?
I don't want to. Okay, sure. Let's shake on it.
Chiharu clearly stares at their other hands to make sure no fingers are crossed with their
yeah, got it.
All right.
You look, where's the perception check? We're both crossing our fingers.
All right, 1 second. If y'all actually do it, let me see. 1 second. What I got? Perception. I'm presuming that's awareness, right? Or is that alertness?
Alertness.
Alertness? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you gotta do like a sleight of hand. Ooh. Oh, well, no, fortunate. Oh. What's the difficulty?
6.
6? Okay. 3 successes.
All right. If you are attempting to hide, then you may use a dexterity and a stealth or sleight of hand, either one. I believe sleight of hand is a skill. There's no
sleight of hand. Subterfuge?
Sure, subterfuge or stealth, either one.
I'm terrible at both those things. Let's do it.
What's the DC?
Yes.
6.
I have 3 successes.
Come on.
3 successes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I will say, Elias, if you are attempting to hide something, it is quite obvious. You weren't for Eric. If Eric is hiding something, it is unclear to you, Jahara. You aren't sure. Maybe not.
So was Elias crossing? Elias was, to be honest, was the biggest.
To be clear, see, I'm not looking for this on Elias. This is just for Chiharu. So if you're trying to hide something from me, that's fine.
Yeah, no, we're kind of, it's kind of just like we're shaking hands, kind of like just have the smile of like, yeah, totally.
But Chiharu knows what he knows. Yeah.
Yeah. The politician smile. That's what it is. The politician smile and shake hands. Oh, yeah.
Completely.
So, is there crossing fingers happening on Elias' side?
Completely.
Oh, good God. Okay.
For me, I guess let out. I guess
Chiharu turns his head towards the Utatos and says, what about the technocracy? Is there protections in place in regards to that group?
We are prepared to deal with the technocracy should they arrive. They would be more of a threat than most of the undead, but we should be able to handle most assaults.
Chiharu looks towards Elias.
Insight roll.
What? Oh, come
Well,
on. I'm not going to poke them. I'm just going to maintain my laptop.
I just hope that they are not able to, or do not wish to locate you at a different location. The fact that they were tracking what was the term, gun permits? They were tracking gun permits. Yeah,
It's very unusual.
it's mind-boggling how far-reaching their searching capabilities may be.
Well, it would have been nice if they would have far reached into a vampire's manor and just
Indeed.
built our mission for us.
Agreed. I was hoping for that to be the case. The fact that they could locate gun permit, but not a vampire is centuries old, at least my assumption based upon his looks, is mind-boggling. So see.
You know, it's fine. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired.
Yes, we will have some conversations tomorrow because that is also another threat we need to analyze, and you seem to be the most well-versed in that location. So we should have some conversations about that.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I bid you adieu.
I guess we go.
I'm assuming I still have a room, right, permanently here, so I'm gonna head off.
All right. I believe all of you are separating. Were there any last minute things you wish to accomplish before you officially turned in? No.
Oh, oh good God.
What would you like to
Is Elias
do?
doing something too?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing something too. Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
All right, we will start with Elias. What would you like to do tonight?
Elias is kind of like making sure his laptop's turned off, like putting it on a desk, and is just sending off a quick text, along with a selfie that just says, "Hey, don't panic, I survived."
And we're busted.
Your selfie is sent off. You don't get an immediate response back. It takes several minutes, but there's text. And it is just a couple of words. So I'm glad to hear it.
I thought that was going a completely different direction. Like, yes, I agree not to hack. If you agree not to deal with any of that bullshit staff, good, agreed. Go back to our rooms. Laptop down.
No, he is like it's late. I am going to bed. I have a respectable bedtime, and it is past it. Flop.
Okay. So then I will allow Elias to turn in for the evening. Eric, what would you like to do?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I have two things I really like to do. First, if I could sense myself, and I kind of want to use a combination of entropy and life. And really, what I'm looking for is this is the first time ever since possessing this artifact that it has done anything. Over the past, however many months I've been experimenting with trying to use this. I know it. I sensed the power when at the end of season 1, but wasn't able to manipulate it at all until recently. And I would like to know what effects using this power may have had on me. So I'd like to kind of sense myself a little bit with life and maybe see where my life's heading now and with the entropy, the combination thereof.
Okay. All right.
Do I just see darkness in my future now, or
to check with life, just roll me your RTA difficulty 4, and you'll be able to determine your life signs and things like that.
Okay, I'm going to burn another willpower for it. This was important to me.
Sure.
That's really good. Difficulty? Is it about
4?
4? Three successes plus will. That's 4 successes.
Okay. You sense nothing out of the ordinary. Your body is in more or less good shape. There are natural things you could do to improve yourself, make your muscles stronger, things like that. You do sense the signs of over adrenaline, over kind of exertion, which you would recognize is what tends to happen to people who are healed magically. Doing it on its own isn't a problem. If you were to do it too often, you would begin to notice that to kind of worsen and worsen. But outside of what you'd expect to see, physically you seem fine.
And outside of physically, can I feel any change in my path going to the entropy side?
All right. So how many dots of entropy do you have?
I have 3 dots of entropy.
Okay. Let me double check something. Okay. I will group this in under a kind of spotting weaknesses within yourself. So this will be a difficulty 4 roll as well.
Oh, a separate roll?
Yep, separate roll. These are
I gotta choose if I want to use willpower
different.
before or after. Before, I'm assuming.
You have to choose before you roll. Yep.
But, we could just spend a week here and I can get my willpower back, right? We're in a safe space. Might as well use it. Not as good, but not terrible. Same difficulty?
Yep, 4.
So 2 successes plus willpower. It's 3 successes total.
3 successes. Very nice. You aren't sensing any signs of danger within yourself, within your willpower, though you do notice a growing dependency. This is the first time you've been in a situation where you did not have enough knowledge, enough power, enough anything, really. And as you're reflecting on that, you know what it was like to call on the power of that staff, to hold power that wasn't yours. And you realize it could turn into a problem. To borrow strength that does not belong to you is double-edged. It is not inherently wrong. But like anything, relying on something that does not belong to you could cause an issue down the line.
I'll take this as positive news at the moment, and then so that's the first thing I wanted to do is just make sure how I'm doing. Second thing I want to do is pull out that fucking staff that was talking to me 4 goddamn months. You had a voice this whole time, 4 goddamn months. And I'm just gonna try to sense to see if that presence is still there, if it can hear me, or if I can hear it. Was it unlocked, or is it only come out when it wants to, kind of thing? Now can I talk to it?
You concentrate on it, but you don't feel anything. It seems like an inert staff.
Fucking throw the staff against the wall. God damn piece of shit. I will unravel the mysteries of you. And with that, I will hide the staff and go to bed. Get some rest.
Okay. So, as you all fall asleep, Elias and Chiharu, you regain 1 point of willpower as you take a nice rest. If any of you believe you acted in accordance with either your nature or your demeanor, let me know, and you may gain an additional point of willpower or 2. If not, then forever hold your peace.
I noticed you just said Chiharu and Elias.
I did.
Just check it. Okay,
We'll
cool.
get to 2.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
All right.
Good luck, fam.
Then if you two are satisfied, Eric, as you begin to doze off, you feel yourself bolt up as if standing on the top of a rocking ship. And as you look around, you find yourself standing in a dark void. You search around and there seems to be nothing. The darkness around you has almost a tangible feel to it, almost as if it's just outside of reach. It's just away from you. And you look around and you notice about 100 feet away is a black hole that is draining energy towards it. And as you take a look at yourself, you find a thick black chain etched into the center of your chest. This chain has thick onyx black spikes spreading out from it. Do you do anything?
Is the chain going towards the hole? Or
Yes.
towards the... do I feel... Is there a pole to it?
Not at the moment. Right now it's just there.
It just feels like it's affixed to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say it's affixed to me, is it like dug into my flesh affixed to me?
As far as you can tell, it is in your chest. You are welcome to attempt to pull on it and see what happens.
I mean, without trying to purposefully hurt myself, yes, I would like to investigate a little further.
You feel around the chain and
Taking off
can
my
tell.
jacket, opening my shirt like I want to look at it.
you feel around the chain and you realize immediately this is not metal. It is not normal material. And as you kind of give it a gentle tug, you can tell it is firmly embedded in your chest. You would feel a light tugging sensation as you begin to gingerly mess around with it. It feels as if pulling it out would hurt. You aren't sure whether or not it is possible. But as you begin to look around to kind of come to terms with what is happening, your jacket and shirt dissolve into a thick woolen-like darkness and are pulled into the center of this black hole.
That's interesting. So there's a pole to this black hole, and anything loose around me. But everything else is essentially an absence of everything, right? I'm in basically a dark room, right?
That is correct.
and it's pulling things towards it, but not me.
That is correct.
And this chain is affixed to my chest, embedded within me, and also, I'm assuming I can't see the end of it. It's just going into this hole.
It is the most oppressive looking darkness you've ever seen. You have no idea if it is a single point or if it is a space that goes on for distance. It is pure darkness.
Can I try to pull the chain out of the hole?
You are welcome to try. And as
I
you
try.
grab hold,
Yeah.
being careful not to allow the point to cut into your hand, you attempt to pull it towards you, and you feel pain shoot toward you. But you realize it isn't your pain. It is a sensation that is foreign to you. It's almost as if experience empathy pain. And as you pull, you see the figure of a gaunt man. They have a gaunt man in a suit, and in the center of his hand you see a all too familiar chain. And as he holds it up towards you, you realize it is the fetter for your dearly departed. Only the image of it is wrong. It's obsidian black, and it looks like it's going to crumble away. And you see this shadowy figure begin to close their fist around it, and it begins to tremble.
Just so I'm clear, there is a gaunt man in a suit that appears as I pull this chain. He is wearing this fetter, this amulet?
He is holding it in the palm of his hand.
Locket, essentially. Okay. But the chain's is attached to the fetter, not the man.
Yes.
And you said it begins to quiver or shake. The locket or the man does?
The locket.
And is the figure of the man familiar to me, you said?
You cannot see their actual facial features. You recognize the same build, that kind of skinny, almost desiccated form, similar to Enzo Giovanni, but it isn't the same. They look more like a shadow of him, a dark black mimicry of what he looked like.
Can I see any expression or facial features on this person?
No.
They're holding it, preventing me from pulling the chain and thus lock it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is he in the hole or have I pulled him out?
No, he is next to it. He does not seem to be moving closer to you, nor does he seem to be getting further away from you.
I'll drop the chain and walk up to the figure.
As you begin to walk, you feel the chain grow taut, and it begins to pull you forward towards this oppressive dark sphere. You take several steps toward it before you feel a hand on your shoulder. And instinctively you look back to him and you see a man with a light golden bronze complexion wearing what looks to be some military grade special forces gear. On his back is a long black cloak that seems to be billowing in an unseen breeze. You recognize this man as Gina.
Gina, yeah.
A familiar figure, though not one that is always pleasant. He looks at you and he goes, "I wouldn't do that."
And I'll turn. I'm assuming his hand on my shoulder stops me from being pulled any further. I'll turn to Gina. He has no right to have that. It's not his to possess. It is mine.
Perhaps. Unfortunately, the world does not care much for who has the right to do what it is that they do. But there is a lesson to be learned here, and getting yourself sucked into that would not be beneficial.
The lessons you have to teach grow more and more confusing as every chapter passes. I agree, the world cares not, but someone must. As long as someone does, there is hope.
I agree. Unfortunately, there is little I can do about these tests. It wasn't too long ago since I was in a similar place, but the little bit of help I can give you, you have. He pauses, and you can see for the first time the darkness in the air begins to coalesce around him, almost like serpents digging in to his skin. You see the body armor he's wearing begin to crack and pop. Think about your recent actions. There is a thread connecting them, and the lesson you need to understand.
Can we cut through the bullshit this time, Kina?
There are rules, even for me. I can help, but I cannot tell you the answers, nor can I make you accept them.
Both in character and out, I'm just thinking back to my last seeking, where God, I hate you so much sometimes, Ree. Sometimes the answer, and this is in character, sometimes your lessons are so obvious, but it is literally the last thing I want to do.
It's true. There is a reason why so many of our kind get distracted with politics and money and
Love.
everything else.
Frivolous, I'm sure, to you.
Love is complicated.
But it can be so powerful. And it can be so powerful as well.
Is power all you seek in this life? Would that be enough?
Kind of think of that long and hard. I know the absence of isn't enough. So yes.
I will not tell you to what you should seek. Is at my place. My time has long since passed, and you will need power for what is to come. You will have to decide to go forward with this, and you're more than welcome to give up. I assure you there are faster ways to power than This.
Tell me, how much sacrifice must I give to have the power I need for this to be over? It's a vicious cycle. It always has been.
That is the issue. You will never stop sacrificing. I assure you, your older companions can tell you that they've given up many things for their power. Even now, how many of them have you seen leave the Umbra? They hold the power of gods, a power that even angels would be jealous of, yet they find themselves trapped here, unable to express that power. So I don't know. Maybe you will eventually gain enough power to free yourself from whatever holds you back and will get you whatever you want. But I don't know of anyone to have ever done so. I've never seen anyone ever do so.
Moving forward or letting go comes to the same inevitable conclusion. That's what you just said. Let me ask you this. I don't think we've talked enough. When was it enough for you?
It never was. My teacher was a wonderful woman. She believed in bringing people together, uniting the world in a way unseen and untouched by any king or deity or demon. We thought we were helping her, and it was taken from us. All creation scattered to the wind, our stories forgotten. So I can't tell you that there will ever be enough.
Are you, for as long as you've been with me, let me ask you, have you been teaching me the lessons you were taught or the lessons you were not?
Allow me to answer your question in a different way. Your avatar and myself are not entirely the same person. The spell that me and my companions used was powerful. It allowed us to give our future incarnations advice, but we are unable to interfere with your lessons directly. These are similar to what I learned, and I assume your companions will learn things similar to what my companions had to learn, but the answers are not always the same. They are meant to help you free yourself from the chains that stop you from moving forward. They are meant to help you attain Ascension, whatever that means. If I could make them easier or unnecessary for you, I would. But I cannot.
I'm kind of turned to face him now, and I kind of take a step towards him, trying to learn a little bit as I go here. If I'm stepping away from the hole, the figure, the lockets, the chain, does the chain become taut, or does it let me walk away?
And it does not become taut. You are able to move freely.
So facing Gina now, I like to grab the chain and just lift it up a little bit so it's in view of both of us. And when will this be broken? How long do I need to turn my back? How long do I need to snuff the feelings that I have? The more I try, it matters not. This chain remains.
What do you know about the Euthanatoi?
Not enough.
They have a belief or an obsession, really. The concept of reincarnation. And to your group, you believe that eventually, with enough incarnations, you all will achieve some grand understanding and be able to move beyond this life. They will tell you that each life is meant to give you a knowledge, power, understanding, but that isn't entirely accurate. And you see, as he goes to continue, the shadows around him tighten, and you see for a moment his left arm looks as if it's being squeezed by a serpent, almost to the point that you begin to hear the bones grinding. In my time, the Euthanatoi weren't around. Their beliefs aren't necessarily wrong, but they aren't complete. Your connections make you human, and getting rid of them would give you power. But power isn't in it. He goes to finish the next word, and it's as if the air in this world is removed, and you can't understand what he says. It's almost as if the word itself doesn't exist. And a moment later, the constriction on him loosens, and the air returns. And it's almost as if you can feel that pressure that you'd expect from being in an airplane return. It is your decisions that will matter. I can only intervene so much.
I follow the Euthanatos and their methodology and their teachings because I believe there is a circle of life to all things. And there is a time that our paths would cross again. But as long as she is tethered, she is imprisoned by Enzo. She cannot reincarnate. Our paths may never cross again. I'm okay if she's not with me. I'm not okay if she's with him. There's some things I cannot let go of. But I do understand right now, this is a time to prepare and a time to learn and a time to grow. And all I can do is continue to hope that with that time, I can free her. So at one point, our paths can cross again. And as I say that, I'll let go of the chain, putting my hand now on his shoulder. But I don't know how long I can continue. these lessons. And I will walk away from him and the hole and the figure and the locket.
As you leave them behind, you hold on to your desire to protect, to save, and you can feel the chain begin to loosen. And there is a moment, and you can feel it as you reach the bounds of this darkness, where you have to make a choice. Do you abandon this attempt, or do you turn back and try and finish?
There's a good long pause while I'm not even holding the chain. I'm just kind of looking down at it and contemplating on whether or not I should turn back. But then I remember there's a time to all things. And I don't need to force when that is. I just need to be ready when it comes, and I'll let go and I'll walk away.
You step forward, and the darkness around you begins to fade. The chain begins to turn into thinner and thinner strands of gossamer-like webbing before fading away. And eventually, everything is gone. And you find yourself waking up in your quarters. The seeking has ended. And there is a sense of hollowness, a sense of failure that hangs in the air. But I think that is going to be an excellent time for us to take our break for the evening. As decisions have been made, we will return in about 15 minutes to continue our Mage story. So feel free to take some time to get some water or to take care of anything else you need to take care of.
Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Breathe the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Breathe the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. I never left a stone unturned. somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say. Wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. I never left a stone unturned, trying to find some love in this crazy world. I felt like I was never hurt. All I wanted was to be loved. All I wanted was to be loved. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say. What makes it worth it? Slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight. And now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. I never left a stone unturned. Trying to find some love in this crazy world. I felt like I was never heard. All I wanted was to be loved. All I wanted was to be loved. Tell yours if you want. You're the right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Tell yours if you want. You're right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say. Tell yours if you want. You're the right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Tell yours if you want. You're right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. I really wanted to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight. And now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams are yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those what makes it worth the What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I say. Wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. I never left a stone unturned, trying to find some love in this crazy world. I felt like I was never hurt. All I wanted was to be loved. All I wanted was to be loved. Still yours if you want. You're the right, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Still yours if you want. You're right, wanted to get it right. Trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight.
Welcome back to our Mage the Ascension campaign. And we are picking up right where we left off, as Eric is coming to after the conclusion of their seeking. You will regain 1 point of willpower, as you do gain the benefits of resting, as your trial is not too odious. And is there anything you would like to do? We'll let you start off this morning.
Me?
You?
Oh, and stay in bed and cry for a little bit longer. I don't feel like I got good sleep.
Understandable. That is fine.
The arms of an angel.
Either Jaharu or Elias. Is there anything either of you two would like to do?
Elias is gonna be working on his PC, working to fortify it to ensure that, the next time he hacks into something, that signal gonna get bounced far away.
Okay. So, we can take care of that pretty quickly. The first step is, unfortunately, the computer you purchased does not have Umbral connectivity. That is something that can be taken care of, can be fixed and things like that. I will say you are in the Chantry, so getting your hands on the basic equipment you'll need won't be too difficult. If you wish to add additional defenses, it will be based on the sphere magic you have access to. So,
even just basic computer?
if you wish to install the equivalent of mundane security software, you are more than welcome to do so. You are aware that mundane protections are very limited when it comes to dealing with the awakened, but can still be effective for other reasons.
We were at least gonna just attempt it. Just attempt to. But we could also put some magic into it. Sure, why not?
I will say you are in the Umbra, so you will be unable to purchase any formal security software. You can enable firewalls and things like that. We'll start with what you can do with magic first, and then we'll see if there's any mundane additions that you can add. Which spheres do you have, and which ones would you like to attempt to use for this?
Hold on. I have, as I scroll right by them, correspondence, forces, prime, or entropy.
Okay, you could create a minor ward. They will require some quintessence to set up, but you can create a ward. Let's see, with your spheres, you can make a ward that will protect it against correspondence effects, which would help you with being tracked down. You could also add protections against various forces, which will protect you from things like electrical currents, heat, cold, wind damage, basically any of the energetic elements. Entropy would be a bit difficult. Entropy in technology is a little hard, but you can help prevent other people from giving you an extra dose of, let's say, bad luck. Mind won't be too helpful for you at the moment because your computer is not sentient in any way. That could be changed, but for the time being, it is not important.
Yeah.
And
We talked about fine.
Alright.
Fine.
So you would like to construct a minor ward, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. So you will acquire a point of quintessence to establish the ward, and then an additional point of quintessence for each objective hindered by the ward. So, it is based on your recent events. You wish to be, I assume, you wish to prevent yourself from being tracked by correspondence. So that will be one objective. If you wish to add a mind-based effect, you could add a kind of passive effect that will make people not want to touch your computer. It is not strong enough to prevent them from doing so, but it will give them a feeling that they shouldn't. And then you can use forces to protect it against any of the energetic forces. So what else would you like to do?
We will just do the correspondence.
Okay. So that will be a grand total of 2 points of quintessence for me. One for the magic and one for the objective.
Okay.
And we will start by, this is going to, so let's see, this would be a vulgar effect. However, you have access to the various public sanctums, so it will make it correspond. It will make it a coincidental effect for you. I would say you can gain a -1 to the difficulty. And yep, that actually is all. So what I will say is that you are going to need, so the successes you are going to need will be divided between two things. One is duration, for however long you want this word to last. And the second is how big a penalty you want to apply to anyone who wishes to hack into it. But to begin this process, you may start rolling your arte. The base difficulty is going to be 5. If you have any other modifiers you wish to add, you can attempt to do so. And mark off a -2 quintessence to begin with.
I already did. Took care of those. Okay. You told me to take them off.
All right.
3 successes.
All right. Keep track of that 3 successes. Now, this would traditionally be done as a ritual, so you could roll as many times up to your stamina rating in rolls. With 3 successes, I would suggest you continue, but you could stop here as well.
I have 3 stamina. We're gonna go.
All right, let's keep rolling. See what you got.
3 successes again.
All right, that brings you up to 6. If you wish to keep going,
Sure.
You may go for it.
Two successes this time.
All right, that brings you up to a total of 8. Now, you have the opportunity here. You could leave it with 8 and divide your successes up however you wish, or you could push yourself to keep going and make a stamina roll. The difficulty of the stamina roll will be 6, and you need only 1 success on the dice. If you succeed this roll, you can make another roll and try and push for more successes. If you fail, you risk the spell going out of your control and potential issues.
Nah, we'll leave it at 8. I think 8's good.
All right. Then you have 8 successes to divide between, we'll say damage and duration. Damage will act solely as a modifier on attempts to hack, so it will increase the difficulty. And duration is how long this will last. How would you like to divide them up?
I'm going to put... you know what? Let's make it even. 4 and 4.
All right. So with 4, it will increase the difficulty to attempt to hack into your systems by 4, and it will last for an entire story. And I will further detail what exactly the story means in respect to our game, but all right, then put that down on your sheet, wherever you would like.
Yes,
and
we will. I'll put it. Okay, I'll put it in here. I got this. It's fine.
All right. So this in total will take up 3 hours of your day. So the first 3 hours of what you are up to are locked in, which leaves a young Chiharu. What would you like to spend your time doing?
All right. Sorry, I had some fantastic Starbucks lemon cake, so I'm just finishing up on that delicacy. So first things first. From waking up in the morning, do I get to regain the health that I lost from the previous event? I only have bashing damage, but I did have a few blocks in it.
Bashing damage, I want to say, would have been healed over the hours.
Okay.
For now, I will say you would heal. I will double check what the actual healing speed is, but I want to say you would have been good by now if it was only bashing.
Okay. So the first thing I would like to do then, as I click these boxes off, is I'm going to, now that I have a stronger connection to the spirit realm, as well as a further understanding of correspondence, I would like to, within the mountain, attempt to reach out to my family members for assistance. Essentially, attempt to communicate with them what has happened so far, what type of guidance they may have, if they would like to pursue this threat themselves, or if they have any recommendations or individuals, fellow guru I could be able to speak to in LA. But essentially, open up that Facebook Messenger group chat for werewolves and see and see who we could call together to unleash the wolf on this group.
Unfortunately, very few social medias have any interaction in the Umbra. However, you do understand both correspondence and spirit enough to send communications across the gauntlet. It will be a bit difficult. Well, you are a bit of a distance from Cleveland. So what I will say is make me an Arante roll. But the base difficulty will be 6 since you are doing this in a place where the magic will be coincidental. But I will add 1 to the difficulty based on distance. So it'll be 7.
7. Okay. Okay. 2 successes.
Okay, with 2 successes, you are able to send, I will say, a short message. What would you like to say, and who would you like to send it to?
So I will definitely send it to Okasa, my mom, and the message will essentially say, we came across a group of vampires who were controlling souls here in LA. The forces that are a bit outside of our depth of expertise. I was wondering if either those among our kin would like to come out to help, or if you have any guru I could speak to here in LA, not here in LA, wait, in LA that I could reach out to for assistance.
Okay. You are able to get that message out. It may take some time to get to them and to receive a response. You also know that it would be difficult for them to reach you in this place, which will add additional consequences as magicians and werewolves do not get along well. But there are potential ways to assist with that. But for now, your message is delivered.
Any mages that got a problem with my family, they got a problem with me. We can square up all day, every day. But we'll leave that outside of that ordeal. I guess the soul, of course, taking that into account, they'll understand the delay of the message. How long would that have taken? Just so I know.
That would just run most, so I would say less than an hour.
Okay, so I think the second thing that they will wish to do, because they know that the third plan that they have is going to be by far the most difficult. They're going to go after their second plan, which is to regain quite a bit of quintessence. They know that quintessence is going to be extremely important for not just, of course, their upcoming mission, but just things in general. And they have Prime too, so they're, they can just shatter some plates and stuff like that, I'm presuming, right, to be able to pull the quintessence from out of that. So they'll just, go ahead and work on try to, extract some quintessence from the ether.
Okay. You can certainly, do you have matter 2?
Oh, that I do not have. I don't have any dots.
Okay. All right. Doing this with Prime is inefficient, but you can still accomplish it. How much would you like to attempt? I will tell you that you are aware that that things that belong to other people, it tends to rub some people the wrong way if you break them too much. There is a little bit of leeway, but keep that in mind as you decide what to do.
Well, they're not trying to step on anyone's toes per se. So, they hopefully, I'm presuming they've been around long enough to know what the aptitude amount would be to extract without it being like, wow, this is like vampire where you can't eat in someone else's domain.
What
and,
I will
and I was
say,
like, holy crap. That's
what
like
I
the
will
exact
say
same rule.
is,
Go ahead, sorry.
roll me intelligence and empathy. This is to see your
Oh,
social awareness, to see your understanding of people and what would be rude and not rude. So, and the
you know I
difficulty will
punch
be
things,
6.
right?
There are more skills required to be a magician, and social understanding is still important.
You said empathy? I have no doubt.
Empathy.
Okay, so all right. So you said intelligence. Okay, well, I'll cross your fingers. What's the difficulty?
6.
One success. That's
Okay.
1 out of 2. That's the best.
With 1 success, you figure you could get away with maybe breaking a few stones if you don't do so on any of the more impressive gardens. You have seen that a lot of the gardens on the mountain are available for you to be in, but a lot of them are works of love and works of just difficult things that people have worked on. But you guess you could probably get away with breaking maybe 2 or 3 without any issues.
They would not. Hopefully, he would not try to aim after items that clearly look like a work of art or something on here. Something that hopefully just appears more natural, that hasn't really being affected by mages, and they would attempt to utilize those items. Okay, perfect.
All right. You could spend some time breaking some loose rocks or some. How many points are you taking?
Well, you said. So I'm guessing 3 then. Wait, what
You
said?
think you could get away with 3 without ruffling too many feathers? You are welcome to do as much as you like, though.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
All right. You find a couple of stones. You find a trio of stones that you don't think will be missed too much, and you spend some time extracting the trace amounts of ki in such an inanimate object, and you are able to absorb it into your pattern.
Yay. All right, perfect. And I think they take. What does she take? Perfect. So I should have enough for that. Oh, and you say that there's no additional circle I can have on a character sheet, right? Or my because of my my item.
No,
Like
the character sheet itself does not allow me to add like an additional quintessence paradox wheel, but you can mark it on your own sheet. There would be a maximum of, I believe I told you, 20, and then it would be divided between paradox and quintessence stored inside the object.
Okay. All right, and oh yeah, that's what it was. That was supposed to be here. It was supposed to be in the. Okay, so I'll commit that. Quintessence and what paradox in here. Okay. Yeah. So I would have one other thing, but if somebody else has something else to do before, that's perfectly fine. I could wait to the next one. The next one, I'm pretty sure need to be doing some haggling and most likely some type of task for them to give it to me. But if somebody else has something to do, I can wait.
Oh, go for it, man.
Oh, perfect. Oh, okay. In that case, the big goal, now that I know that we'll be dealing with some mind manipulation, is I'm going to reach out to my elder to ask her if she could be able to place a mind ward on not just me, but also my group of friends to help deal with the threat, because we know that they like to, especially Eric, Because Eric got controlled twice. twice in a row.
Thanks for that. Thanks for bringing that up again.
So, or even 3. I'm not sure, either 2 twice or 3 times. So, well, technically, one was spirit based. How many dots? How many dots in correspondence do you need to put in a ward?
To do a minor ward, it would be at least 2 dots of correspondence, and then at least 2 dots in the sphere that you wish to interfere with. So if you wish to stop spirits, you would need at least 2 dots of spirit, life, etc.
Gotcha. So, okay, perfect. So at least for both Eric and Elias, I can put in a ward of spirit for both of those to prevent the possession. However, wait, Elias, have you ever mentioned how many dots in mind you have?
Oh, 2.
Would that be enough to prevent like domination skills, or would we need like a higher dot?
Protecting your mind. Let me double check before I give you an answer. Yes. Mind 1 is enough to shield your own mind. Mind 2 will allow you to shield another person's mind.
Even need to reach out to we could have done this ourselves. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, see, this is what happened when we just go in guns blazing. We could have we could have put all types of protections on ourselves to well, I just got my second die correspondence, so
Not my style, it's fine.
Ari, also you might be muted because I saw your mouth moving.
It's fine. It's fine. We know now.
Gotcha. Well, in that case, sorry. I mean, I was going to make this big old ordeal. Like, I would need to reach out and talk to her and make deals and such. But with the spheres that we have, I think we could be able to protect ourselves from it. So I think in that case, I would just head out to the group then, and come up and discuss,
Would you like to do research on how wards function?
Yes, that would be helpful because I'm new to this area.
All right, make me let's say an intelligence and occult roll, and then add 2 dice.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
6.
Okay. You know what? Just to be on the safe side, because this is important, I'm going to use 1 willpower. I'll just use like 1 a day.
I will allow Elias to make this roll as well, since you were doing ward-related business as well.
It's what?
Intelligence and occult plus 2.
2 dice or 2 successes?
2 dice. 2 dice. Not 2 successes.
Nice. 1, 2. That's 4 successes for me.
Okay.
Difficulty
6.
6. Five successes.
All right, so you both will gain this information from different sources. The first thing you would know is there are 2 types of wards. There are minor wards and major wards. Major wards are typically stronger and are capable of completely preventing access to a area or a being by a specific target. They create circles that something cannot cross, areas that can't be entered by certain groups, etc. Minor wards are not quite as potent. They act more as restrictions. They can make it harder for a being to enter an area or to interact with something. And they can be broken down into area wards designed to protect a room or a building, and then more personal wards designed to protect, say, an item or a person. What you are looking to do specifically, Jaharu, does not require a ward, as you can improve your mental defenses separately. Now, you can create a ward that will protect more things, such as protecting a person from possession. However, it is difficult to make a ward that allows for specific things not to interfere. So, for example, if Jaharu were to ward his clothing against spirits, it would prevent any spirit from touching them. both allied or opposing. If you were to create a ward against, say, were creatures, it would prevent all were creatures from touching you. It would not worry about friend or foe. So that is something to keep track of. There are many stories of mages creating wards that will then later prevent other people from healing them or helping them. But it is an option that you would both be aware of.
Now, what are these mental defenses that you were referring to besides? What are these mental defenses?
So you are able to create defenses for your mind that will make it more difficult for people to interfere with it. You can make ones that are designed to prevent someone from manipulating your emotions, similar to presence protection in a vampire. That would not protect you from someone manipulating your life, though you would know that is different. Someone is able to manipulate, say, the pheromones in your body to give a specific thing, and that's a bit different from mind control. You can also make it difficult for someone to read your thoughts, kind of creating a mental barrier to prevent someone from being able to mess with your mind. You know that with Mind 1, you would be able to protect yourself from other mind magicians or people using things like dominate on you and presence, and to an extent, people who are using illusions to not be hidden, such as obfuscate. So there are different things you can do. And with more dots of mind, you can do more things.
But at the moment, Eric has never mentioned having a manipulation of mind capabilities, to my knowledge, correct? Or has Eric? Mm-hmm. So at the moment, the only one that has the ability, even though he technically has the ability to protect others, would be Elias. So I'm presuming, is it safer to go the war route and to use his Mind 3 to create the ward, or would Elias's Mind 3 by itself be enough to suffice against a secondary battle with this individual?
Mind 2.
Oh yeah, Mind 2. Oh yes, Mind 2.
Mind alone would be enough to give yourself some basic mental defenses. The ward would make more sense if you wish to protect another thing. So if you, for example, wanted to make it so that way another person would receive a mental shock for attempting to steal a car or a sword or something like that, or you want to keep a person out of a room, a ward would be good. Mind 1 would be good to protect you against someone directly attacking your mind. So in your exact scenario, a Mind 1 shield would have aided you in preventing Dominate from being effective against you. You would not traditionally use a ward for that. There may be more niche situations where a ward would be preferred, but a Mind shield done with Mind would be the thing you would want to have for the situation you were in.
I see. Oh, wow. Thanks for that clarification. So that definitely helps change the plan a bit. In that case, I guess they would just attempt to, before reaching out to their elder for, because they still, technically, I feel like they need an army. Like the three of them, no offense, if it's just three of us, I don't think we knock on the door of Enzo, be like, surprise, round 2. I mean, we maybe can, depending upon circumstances, but I feel like being the primarily combat individual of the group and him having like 5 hosts, especially since we kind of surprised him originally, and that surprise has gone away, so he may be rolling a bit deeper in the future. We may need to have some alliances and such with us before we attempt a second skirmish per se. So I think first, before reaching out to the elder, Chiharu is going to go see Did Eric just get his 4 dots? So Giannis is going to go see Elias and Eric and see and inform them the news that he was able to discover.
Okay. It sounds like all three of you will be reconverging. If there's anything you wish to accomplish before that happens, speak now. But if not, I will say you are able to meet up in more of a common area. We'll say it's more like a food court like spot that you all are able to come together. And I will leave. Excuse me. I will leave the scene to the three of you.
Elias and Eric, E&E. Yeah, oh, I like that. E&E. Good to see you too. Do you two feel better after the night's rest?
You know, I don't, Jaharu. I don't.
Something wrong? Did the staff offend you again?
So,
I'm pretty certain with the power that staff possess, there is no way possible it's not under the radar of at least 5+ individuals in this chantry. You unlocked it, and it has done traits that I've never seen before. So, unless it's subtly disappeared in terms of its power capabilities, it's hanging on quite
are
a few individuals.
you making an assumption?
I'm assuming that, yes.
You know what they say about assuming.
I could be correct. Could
Saying months I've had this, not a peep. At the very least, ignorance is bliss. So do me a favor and just keep it on the DL. It may come in handy. Just saying.
Now, I will preface this. You know, I have prejudgment to the staff due to my own lineage of where I come from. But I have informed you that I have reached out to my allies. Well, I sent a message. Hopefully, I will be receiving a message soon. But that staff and my allies are two opposite ends of the spectrum. And if if somehow the individuals here are not able to detect it, they certainly will. And they will not take too kindly to what is possessed within that staff, and will most likely rip that staff and you to sunders. So I just wish to state that when we move forward, if our allies do wish to, if I'm able to obtain allies for this, we would need to push the staff aside, at least for now, until the mission is complete.
Noted.
So, what did you two come up with? I'm presuming you have a rough sleep. Were you able to come up with news? Okay.
Unfortunately, last night was very, very uninformative.
Oh, so a lack of sleep due to lack of progress, I see.
I mean, depends on who you ask.
Very well. Well, hopefully you will be able to make headway in the direction you wish to pursue in the near future. Would you like to talk about it, or would you like to keep it to yourself?
I'm still processing right now. So I still need to sleep for a few days. Straight would be ideal. But I don't know if I'll be able to.
As I always state, meditation is definitely an option when you wish to remove yourself from the realities of society and meditate.
You ever seen the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, Jaharu?
I have not. When did this movie come out?
The 1950s, 70 something.
You have to realize there's a little bit of an age gap between us, as I am only 19 years old.
Well, I'm not that much older. Thank you very much. But I mean, I am, but not. You know what? It's okay.
I get empathy 0. So
I was way off. 1984. But anyways, the moral of the story is: don't go to sleep. Don't dream. Stay up forever. Because your nightmares can hurt you. I'm just summarizing the entire movie series, by the way.
Interesting.
That's how they get you.
Chiharu, in his best way possible, tries to pat Eric's shoulder, which probably feels
There.
Yeah, robotic.
There.
Yeah.
Not even
So
comforting
robotic.
either. It's just awkward.
Not even comforting.
Just...
Yeah. 120% awkward. So, and then he kind of like straightened himself. He says, "And Elias, how about you? Were you able to make progress on your goals, such as preventing tracking from the technocracy?"
I think I have suitably frustrated their efforts. It took me a little longer than I wanted, but it is done. So, yay.
Now then, would you like to talk to us a little bit of what we're dealing with, as I have very little knowledge of how the technocracy works, besides the generic piece of information. You seem to have a stronger connection with that.
Well, my tradition like split off from them like a while ago. But mostly just think of them as magic's not real. Everything is technology. Also our way is the right way. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Think of it like the CIA, but if they had sci-fi technology and the ability to do whatever they wanted, pretty much.
Why are they our enemy?
Oh, they absolutely detest us.
You say magic is not real, but they're clearly using magic to.
They don't use magic. It is advanced technology.
So who are we talking about?
Oh, the metal cyborg person, the Terminator, 5700.
They don't use magic.
Okay, so they do use magic. They don't view it as magic. They view it as advanced technology. Like, we all know they're doing magic, but if you said that to them, you probably upset them severely.
They'd hate us because we think that they're using magic.
No, they hate us because we don't think like they do.
In terms of thinking that our abilities is not advanced technology.
No, just thinking in general. If we are not a part of them, we're kind of just like.
So the manipulation of ki, how could that be considered technology? I do not understand.
I know they have a term for it. Something about. Oh, I can't remember. I know the bare bones. Like, that's it. They don't like us. It's all technology, advanced science, all that sort of mumbo jumbo. We're right, you're wrong nonsense.
Is there a way for us to be able to coincide with one another, especially against other threats? Because it seems like they're not doing anything nefarious. It's not like Enzo, who's like eliminate 3 innocent people in his corner. They just seems to view things differently from us. Correct?
Ray, how much would I know about the technocracy's goals as a
I will
VA?
say, any of you can make an intelligence in politics roll at difficulty 8. If you
Oh, good
have
God.
lower technocracy, the difficulty would be 6.
Do not.
What is lower?
Rated.
Is lower technocracy like a background? Or
Lore is a
lore
knowledge,
technocracy.
and then
Okay, gotcha.
lore specifically technocracy.
Gotcha.
What's the difficulty?
If it's
8.
you're using politics, it's 8. 6 if you have lore technocracy.
2 successes.
2 successes.
Okay.
That
What?
was
I
with
got 2 dice. Yeah, 2 successes.
straight
Okay,
intelligence.
So you have all heard stories of the technocracy, and you know that Elias's description is not incorrect. It isn't completely clear either. The technocracy wants to protect humanity from the negatives of the other denizens in the world, whether it's the vampires, the fae, other mages, etc. I would say you are aware that the technocracy is not evil necessarily. They believe in kind of sheltering humanity from what they describe as reality deviance. They take more of a big brother approach to this. They are aware that you all believe what you are doing is a form of mystic arts or magic, but they understand it as an enlightened science. It is not mystical. What you all are doing is a incorrect version of what you should be doing. You are the equivalent of children playing in the dirt. And unfortunately, you all tend to cause disasters when you do so. And the technocracy wants to prevent that from happening. They are not entirely wrong. Each of your traditions has stories of individuals that have taken what you've done and what you've learned and done horrible things with them. However, their approach is too overbearing. Whereas the Council of Traditions, as a universal understanding, want to help all of humanity awaken and understand its potential, they would rather humanity remain in the dark. If it were up to them, they would hide the existence of magic as a whole to protect people. Specifically for Jaharu's question, the Council and the Technocracy, and occasionally a third group of people, have cooperated before when they've come down to truly dangerous threats. There was the story of a attempt during World War II to change things or to conquer the world that was stopped by a great deal of effort with the Technocracy. You do know, however, the agreements don't tend to last very long. The desire for control and freedom tends to make it so that way the higher-ups on both sides can't really stick together. It is the equivalent of getting enough powerful people in one room and then trying to get them all to agree to do what one wants them to do. But it is not impossible. It is, some would say, like herding cats. But has been done.
That's great. So in that case, Shiharu will look towards Elias and Eric and says, "So there is a history of us working together before, my understanding. If it's possible, one, especially as something. I mean, I understand that they call us deviants, but I'm presuming they would be able to see that we are not attempting to hurt innocent individuals like vampires are clearly trying to do. Would you think they would be willing to at least align on this occasion alone to eliminate a common vote on both of us?"
One vampire, probably not. Also, do remember, they sent the Terminator after us for trying to put his gun on a registry.
That is true,
Magically.
that is-
Listen, Shaharu, you make really good points. We've worked together in the past. as unlikely as that sounds, I mean, what are they going to do? Come and not like us because of the things that we have and tear us asunder? I mean, don't common enemy, right?
Mm-hmm. I would assume so.
I mean, I'm not too keen to work on the people that sent the Terminator after us.
True. But the Terminator did not really attempt to harm us, at least originally. From my understanding,
Technically,
well,
we did shoot first, and we technically.
mm-hmm. We just wished to escape. We did not wish to be brought to the location that they wanted to take us to, which goes towards the commonality of freedom versus control. But at the same time, if we were truly a threat, the Terminator would have came out of the Uber at that time and just attempted to break us down then and there. Most likely, they just wished for us to communicate.
We did run away.
Yes.
We did not really give it a chance to attack us.
Well, yes, but I'm presuming if the goal was to eliminate, they would not have attempted to drive us to a particular location to eliminate. They probably would have attempted to eliminate us right then and there at the office or on the drive to the location. And it would have been more than one, most likely more than one Terminator assigned to us, especially since there was 4 of us there. 5? 4? 5? Yeah.
You know, if you want to work with them, sure. I'm not keen on it at all.
Well, you do have the most history.
Yeah. And I'm still salty with them.
Chiharu does chuckle a little bit. It says, I clearly understand bad blood could be a bit hard to swallow. As you know, even though I am not Guru, just seeing, the staff itself, is leaves a sour taste in my mouth, like eating natto. So, it's a problem. I understand. I'm just trying to figure out
common enemy.
Yes.
Right? Common enemy. We can work together, right?
I
Right?
more worry about what they're going to do when they see that staff.
The
What staff?
Technocracy?
Yes.
I have no idea what
yes.
you're talking about.
Oh, good lord. You hit him a little too hard. I think he's got amnesia.
What? So, where are we?
Good lord.
That is, I did not take that into consideration ever. Well, Eric believes that the staff is well protected from individuals here, so perhaps it may fall under the guise of the technocracy as well. Now, I know it won't fall for the Guru because the Guru have a strong sense of smell towards anything associated with the worm, which that staff is entirely based off of. However,
I don't know if they would. The only conclusion that I can come to as to why this thing is still in my possession is either I am one lucky son of a bitch, or while it's dormant, it is undetectable.
can I smell
Just a
it?
theory.
Can I smell the worm from off of it?
No.
I
You
don't smell
don't
any
know
worm?
if Eric has it with him at all, actually.
Really?
Mhm.
Chiharu actually takes a couple of sniffs to see if he can smell something.
Hey, whoa, easy. Down, boy.
Interesting. Well, perhaps you may be right. Or it could be that just my senses are not strong enough due to not being fully a Guru.
Hey, don't put yourself down, buddy. We'll get there one day. You know, it's just lycanthropy. Like you can catch it. Just saying, it's
That's not how it works. Sadly, otherwise.
No, I've seen the movies. Trust me, it's how it works.
So this person is mage blading what a werewolf.
He's definitely mage splitting something he's got no fucking clue about. Yes.
So Gianna just like narrows their eyes a little bit. It's like, oh,
Yeah, don't get scratched. Don't get scratched.
the balance. With that, there is actually some information I came across that I wanted to share with you all to make perhaps our next adventure a bit easier. Their alliance, if I'm understanding correctly, you have a strong control of the mind spirit, correct?
Well, like possible usage.
Well, I'm considering, but we are well aware that Enzo contains the skill, the ability to be able to manipulate individuals' minds and force them to do things against their will. Eric was definitely sadly a recipient of that power. In my information gathering, your ability of protecting minds can be used to help provide a shield of sorts against Enzo's mind manipulation. That way, when we approach in the future and he attempts to force us to do things against our will, we would have an ability to be able to prevent that from happening.
That sounds very useful.
Now that addresses. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I could work on something. See if I can't keep our friend here from getting puppeted again.
Yes.
One time. One has never let me down.
No. One time is like a random Tuesday.
And it was not one time. I'm, if I recall correctly, it was at least 2, possibly 3, but at least 2. I'm considering 3 due to the staff itself also being a possible influence, but that one doesn't seem to be.
Doesn't count.
It does not count.
Full control. I made my own choices in that one.
Wait, can I do a memory or something to see if all of his choices? I'm pretty sure there was some choices that he did that was not worth
with my eidetic memory.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Eliza, right? Eliza did a mirror. I was like, wait a second. I'm pretty sure there was something happened. Sorry, go ahead.
I will say, with your eidetic memory, it does allow you to vividly recall everything that
Things that I've done. It wouldn't tell you if it was my choice or not.
You can attempt to make an intelligence and empathy roll to see, based on what you know, if his actions were out of character.
Pray for me. This is just straight intelligence.
I will say the difficulty for this will be 8. The situation was chaotic. You're doing this off of a memory, and you don't actually have dots in the skill. So all of those things make this more difficult.
Fine. Hey, 1.
It's hard to tell. You do recall there was no reason.
That one would have been an 8.
There was no reason for him to care about the odd sphere that you all found when you were in the undead. You also remember he was a bit more aggressive with dealing with the spirits than normal. But you also know that the situation was rather dangerous, so you aren't sure if it was strange behavior or if some people just react differently in high tense situations.
Honestly, I think we could just leave the staff bit out of it because I don't know exactly what was going on there.
What staff?
I will settle with 2.5. Since it's not a full 3, but I wish to believe there may have been influence, but we are definitely certain it was 2 and possibly 1/2. Your side addresses the possible influence of mind control, and so the second portion is the possession, which makes sense now that we think about it, that some of their individuals there would have the ability to possess others. The fact that it wasn't Enzo that did it, but just a random soldier is disheartening. That means there could be quite a few others in Enzo's repertoire that possess that skill set. However, I do have the ability to perform wards of sorts, to ward off spiritual connections, and thus spiritual infiltrations for possession-like skills. And this may help those in the future. Now, by implementing this ward, this does mean spirits in general would have a much more difficult, if possibly impossible, time to connect with you. So that could be an issue associated with your fiance, wife, fiance. But this would at least protect you from any future possessions going forward. As you as well, Elias. I'm presuming. I'm not. Well, do you have any abilities of manipulating the spirit? Would you be able to handle it on your own?
No. So out of all the spheres, that's the one my lot deals with the least.
I assume as such. So if you wish to have a protection from any type of spirit infiltration, I could create a ward as well. I think for you, Elias, it would be quite a bit easier since you have very little dealing with, those of that type. However, Eric, for you, since your fiance is technically a spirit, that may cause complications.
That's a fair point.
So how would you like to proceed there?
I mean, it's just protecting me from possessions.
Well, spirits in general. Spirits wouldn't be able to talk to you. Spirits wouldn't be able to see you. Spirits wouldn't be able to possess you. Again, it's just war zone.
I see. Then no, I'm good.
If
rather risk the possession.
if any of you would like, you may make me an intelligence in either occult or esoteric roll to see what you know about necromancy.
Okay.
I have a dot in necromancy. Does that help me?
Yeah, if you have a dot of lore necromancy or similar skill, you can roll
I think
that
you
instead.
gave it to me for a thing. I forgot what it was though.
Difficulty?
If you are using occult or esoterica, 7. If you have necromancy, then difficulty is 5.
Okay, so it doesn't add; it just lowers difficulty.
4.
4. Okay.
Well, you said 5 for if I'm
Yes,
using
difficulty
necromancy.
5. Yes.
4 successes.
Okay. So we'll start with Chiharu first. With what you've heard of necromancy, spirit alone would be enough to protect you on this side of the gauntlet, especially relatively low levels of spirit, spirit 2 and 3 specifically. If once you've stepped across into their world, it can be less effective. The most effective way of dealing with a spirit would be to thicken the walls of the gauntlet around you, making it basically more difficult for a spirit to enter into our world in the first place, or to leave once they're here, and that will make it more difficult for them to use their abilities. Once you cross over, you are unable to do that, as you are both on the same side of reality. Elias and Eric, you are aware that spirit will allow you to directly impact a ghost. And there are many ways to deal with one outside of warding yourself against it. Warding yourself is effective. It will make it so that way they cannot directly attach you, both for good or ill. But you can do what is referred to as racking the spirit, which is purely a method to cause intense pain to a spirit. It is an effective way in some situations where needing to make a spirit obey is necessary. There are ways to barter with spirits. For the most part, spirits are somewhat living things. They have desires and things they want. There are people who specialize in dealing with spirits. Specifically, the dream speakers of Kravati are good at dealing with nature spirits, though some are talented with the undead or with the dead. And it may be there are alternative ways to dealing with them that does not require you to hurt them. And there are, I would say, with how many successes did you get, Elias?
4.
And how many did you get, Eric? Was it 5?
4.
Oh, both 4. All right, then you would both know. There are ways to take spirits off the board that does not directly hurt them. Though you would need to speak to someone with a bit more knowledge in this area to know how that works.
So to clarify, the wrecking the spirit, how many spheres do you need for that? When it says just
3.
cause it to, so I could have done that and not uppercut Eric per se.
Roundhouse kick. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
racking the spirit is effective against a spirit that is not already inside of a person, and once it is inside, it becomes less helpful.
But if you had Spirit 5,
I need 5 dots in the red tape for that. I mean, that'd be some time.
you do, but using the staff, I have,
Spirit 5.
I'm tearing holes into the Umbra, apparently.
Spirit 5 does allow for a number of additional abilities, including removing spirits, sealing spirits, manipulating the very fabric of the Emperor. There are many things. Many things.
Exorcism, how many dots do you need for that?
To force a spirit out of someone, you'd be dealing with Spirit 4 or 5. There are ways with Spirit 3 to help a spirit leave. Like anything else, you could just make a deal with one. But if you wish to be more forceful, you're going to want more advanced spirit sphere effects.
So, unfortunately, my skill set, there is not much I can do when a spirit enters either of your bodies, besides, unfortunately, laying hands and causing them to be removed by force, by inflicting pain on both you and the spirit. My only other capability is to implement wards to protect you from any type of intrusion from a spirit. So for Elias, it seems to be perfect for you since you have very little to any dealings with spirit world or wish to, correct?
No, absolutely none.
Exactly. So I could definitely work on that for you on a particular item or for you as a person. Eric, of course, you're the bigger concern due to your fiance. Perhaps. So my elder focused primarily on mine, so I'm not sure if she would be as proficient in the spirit's capabilities. Would your elder by chance may know some ways to protect you that doesn't involve completely removing access to talking with your fiance?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's the person who gave you the item. Oh.
All of you can roll me an intelligence in politics roll. And the base difficulty will be 6. As you all would have been taught by teachers and mentors over the years about what different members of your group are capable of.
Quick question: Could I instead of politics, could I add my 1 dot in mentor?
Sure, that's fine.
You have a dot in mentor?
I have a dot mentor. That's mama.
Mentor background is very helpful.
That's mama.
That's mama.
SOS mama.
You say intelligence and politics?
Yes.
2.
You know, I didn't know there was a dot in mentor. You know, I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay.
What's
There's
difficulty?
6.
2.
2. Okay.
One second, my apologies. Just one. Again,
I,
all of these
I
are
have
outside of
failed
my
mama.
wheelhouse. If
Okay.
if you're talking about punches and kicks, I got you covered. Outside of that, good luck.
All right. So I will say all of you would be aware of this. The dream speakers, or the Kavadi, depending on which name you are using, they are known for dealing with spirits of all kinds. They are known by far to have a positive relationship with the spirits that occasionally lets them work cooperatively with the guru and other such entities. In
Oh,
a distant second place is the Order of Hermes. They know spirits, but they take a more formal relationship with them. They tend to be more like contracts and things like that. If you wish to learn more about dealing with them, those two groups would be your best bets. Now, individuals have their own interests, and it is possible that there are plenty of people who decide to deal with spirits because they like them. In that, you need to ask around. But as a general rule, the Dream Speakers or the Order of Hermes would be the safest bet.
so the
Say the
dream speak.
Gravati? Is that what you said?
Kavadi, I'm 80% sure I'm not pronouncing that word correctly. But they are the Kavadi or the Dream Speakers, depending on which name you like to
Kavadi,
use for
yeah.
them. Yes, it is here. I will spell it for you in the chat. Let me just make sure I'm spelling it right. Oh, I'm not. Oh, yeah, I am. All right. Kavadi / Dream Speakers. Which
Oh, Kabaddi. Okay.
Kavadi is their newer name, but you all at this point would have heard either one, so neither one is really more correct than the other.
And they have a connection to the guru as well.
They have more positive relationships with spirits, and that allows them they encounter guru more often and in not quite favorable conditions, but in more amicable ones. No mages can really are friends with werewolves, but they are more likely than not to have peaceful experiences with them.
As you have, that background, that nice 4 or 5 dots, you know, some people's able to skirt the line, but that's just a couple. But good to know that there's actually a group that it has like a strong connection with that, because I think Jihadu would definitely be wishing to talk to them a bit more too. So, more macro. And you said a distant second place was the Orders of Hermes. You said
The Order of Hermes, yes.
but yeah. So Jihadu will look towards you all and say, presuming we would wish to go speak with the dream speakers. Is everyone okay with that?
Seems like a logical next step.
All right. And I guess we making our way. We'll go see be introduced to this brand new tradition that I'll be honest, I have no idea about. I mean, I remember a couple of them, but this is what a few ones I don't remember at all. Kind of curious.
All right. So you all make your way over, and it is a special section where there you can find them. And you see there aren't too many people here today, but you do see there are two different individuals that are kind of milling about. You can see that they're having conversations, though if you do not possess the spirit sphere, you cannot see to whom they are talking. One is a woman with kind of thick brown curls in her hair, a kind of a very nice red cocktail dress. She has what looks to be like a series of small voodoo dolls kind of hanging around her. They look to be more of that kind of plushy and cute design than traditional voodoo dolls. And then across from her and kind of further down this long table is a man with these thick finger thick dreadlocks, a kind of a long African dashiki, and he seems to be conversing with what looks to be a number of people. You can see that he's talking, and then his head will kind of move in different directions, but you are unable to see anything there.
I do, right? I would see them.
If you do, you have spirit 2.
Yeah, Spirit 3.
All right. So then I would say the man you can see almost without really wanting to. And you see there are a number of nature spirits, birds, lizards, cats, things that defy comprehension. And they almost seem to be not quite tripping over themselves to be near him, but it's almost like they're, to borrow a Disney-esque feeling, it's almost like this person is a Disney princess of spirits. They seem to just be around, and they just seem to enjoy being around this person. The woman, you can get a hazy outline of what looks to be humanoid spirits. Some of them seem to be normal, but others seem to be kind of darker in appearance. Some of them seem to be missing what looks to be like limbs. They seem to be not quite bad, but more, let's say, frightening.
All right. Oh, Chiharu being aware of Elias's and Eric's lack of ability to be able to see.
Well, you guys are fucking weird, man. Just talking to the air.
Yeah,
Chiharu.
it's something very new. Oof.
Welcome to this world. Elias, I would like to take you one day back home to I reside. You did not get the chance to. Oh, never mind. I forgot. You are unaware of what.
This could be a conversation for another day.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I would have to think. I just Chiharu paused because he realizes, oh, Elias is completely unaware that Chiharu's family are werewolf and all that kind of stuff. So he's going to keep that in his back pocket. That's supposed to be a secret. But he will inform them of the the experience around. It says, presuming both of them seems to be very popular among the spirit realm. So perhaps celebrities, especially the gentleman on, was it the right side of the table? He was on the right side of the table, right?
Yes.
Because he said he was on the end.
He is further from you. He is the furthest from you. The woman is closest.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess we can introduce ourselves. Eric, I'll be honest. You know, I am not the best when it comes to talking to people. Would you two like to take the lead in this endeavor in case I screw things up? Because as you saw from my pat, I am not really the best when it comes to communication.
I agree. Elias, you're up.
What? Why am I up?
Do you talk better than we do?
I deal with a computer. What do you think?
Yes.
And I've been divorced twice.
Well, you're not divorced now. You currently have a relationship.
We're separated.
Wait, I thought you were together. You told us you were together.
Because I don't want all of my personal life out and just into the world. We're working on it, okay? It is a work in progress.
As all relationships are.
No, I feel like this is an Eric thing. This is definitely Eric. You have the friendly face.
I like how we're all sitting in the corner, like,
No, you go
the,
touch.
the-
You go.
you
I don't
go
want to
talk
talk
to
to
yeah,
you.
you go talk to yeah. like in high school.
Okay.
God, that's funny.
Hello.
To which one are you going up to?
The guy is talking to nobody. My perspective, right?
They both seem to be having conversations with beings.
Oh, they're
you don't
both
see.
crazy. Great. Let's go to crazy haired voodoo heads.
Okay. And as the three of you make your way over, she is sitting at kind of almost a lunchroom like table. They have the table and then the benches connected to it. And as you approach, she looks up at each of you. Hello. What do I owe this wonderful visit?
Well, you see, my colleagues and I here have come seeking some assistance that we're hoping you might be uniquely suited to provide. So we hear, and I do apologize if I'm overstepping, but we do have some challenges with the dead not dead people.
Vampires.
Well, I meant just in general, ghosts too, spirits. But yes, definitely vampires, but we're here about the spirits. More specifically, they are technically being controlled by vampires.
Nasty business. I had a run-in with some vampires in Los Angeles a few years ago. Fun. Difficult.
It's
but fun.
just riddled with vampires. Who knew? Who knew? So many vampires.
Apparently, they have a baron down there.
A real dick, I hear. Tall.
So, tell me more about your issue.
I don't even know where to start. Just to be clear, for me, OC, we're still in the chantry, right? Like we're like this. We're all part of the same, right? Okay. Where to start? So I'm trying to free my fiance, whose spirit cannot move on because she's attached to a fetter, which is currently being held by a very bad vampire guy who can apparently rip a hole into the umbra and come and go as he pleases. Not to mention, he's got an army of bad dudes, including spirits who like to possess, trust me, I know, their enemies. And also he's got mind control powers. And if we could just get a little bit of help on any of those fronts, it would be much help.
Talk about a tragic romance. So, I'm afraid I can't do too much about the mind thing.
Hey, too much is better than nothing.
Right. So, well, let me deal with the spirit. You do not wish the spirit to be destroyed, correct? That is my assumption.
Correct. Unless in destroying the spirit, it also frees the spirit from this material plane.
They
but if
would
you mean
be
like
free. Technically, they'd be free. Some would argue that death is better than bondage, but they would no longer exist.
I mean, I'm Thanatos. Everything exists when the time's right. Circle of life and all.
Sure. Either way, I get the feeling your goal is it to erase the spirit from...
If I can confirm that she's moved on peacefully, yes, that would be the ideal situation.
All right, let's table that idea. We'll put that in a box. If this vampire has a fetter, that is an issue. But it is possible to make another fetter As long as your spirit friend is not completely out of them, destroying one or two would not be the worst thing. It would certainly be more pleasant than being destroyed outright. Do you know how many fetters your friend has?
I'm still a little bit foggy on what a fetter is. It's my understanding that it is a item of this spirit while they were alive that they held a strong connection to. Now, whether or not that fetter, being called a fetter, is actively being used against the spirit or to control the spirit, I don't know if that's what makes it a fetter or if it's just any object, because she did have a lot of jewelry and there's no way I'm tracking that all down.
It is not any object. It is an object of significance to that person. So significant that even after death, it is binding them here. It could be an item, good or bad. It could connect to their deaths, something they loved. Fetters do not necessarily have to be objects. They could be places. They could be people. It is important that the ghost is able to resolve their fetters. That will let them step into the light and move on to whatever or wherever they go next. It is possible to create a fetter artificially. Owning a wraith's fetter, or ghost fetter, excuse me, will allow you to threaten them with harm to that object. And in some ways, it will cause them a tangible discomfort. A spirit that loses all their fetters become a dark shadow of themselves. They don't officially die, but they become more like rabid dogs. So, the question is what would you like to do? You could attempt to find more fetters. I cannot tell you if there are more. I could make a fetter for you. There are ways to make a wraith less dead, though that one is a bit more difficult.
I'm sorry, I don't think you really explained what a fetter is, because can a spirit move on from this world or not? Or can they not move on because they have fetters? And if so, how would you let them move on without destroying the fetters?
It's both. A spirit that has fetters cannot move on. They have to resolve the fetters themselves, however. The fetters are usually connected to a regret. Maybe they have a loved one that they did not get to explain something to, or they want to protect a child, or they have a building where they were killed and they want their murder solved. Wraiths can have many reasons for staying in our world. But if a fetter is destroyed before they can resolve, it causes them pain. And if all of them are destroyed, they lose what version of consciousness they have.
Okay, so I'm only aware of one fetter.
I thought there was two. He has one and you have one.
I thought that was two, but as a fetter was just explained to me, and that's not true. So
I thought a fetter could be any number of items as long as it's
or places or people or things. Yes, it could be literally anything. So the answer is I'm only aware of one, or there's 1,000. I gotta find them.
Didn't we stick the ring you had in the vault's
Yes,
house?
it was a special item of the person, but not necessarily a fetter. I'm unaware that the ring that I have is holding this person here. So
Elias is gonna just pull out the doll and see if he can't get the ring out of it.
I'm assuming I have it, but
You would be able to claim the ring at your leisure, so whichever one of you wishes to have it, that would be up to you. But there would be no stopping you from getting it.
Is there a way to determine how many fetters a particular spirit may have?
The easiest way is to ask them. There are ways to look
that didn't work
for a
either.
fetter. That is unfortunate. I would recommend searching for it. Well, the process is long and odious, but being a necromancer is not easy.
Is it
You're
possible
telling me.
for you to? Is it possible for you to reach out to the spirit? I perhaps could as well, but you seem like someone who's perhaps further well versed in spirit capabilities. Would you be able to call them yourself? See if we could ask her that question.
Oh yes, and I could, in theory anyway, bring her here.
As a reminder,
Like
we
that?
did do this rudimentarily with a Ouija board, if you remember.
Oh,
To
yes.
to be fair, we're not professionals.
That is fair, but we didn't sever the connection. She was pulled away from it forcefully.
Yes. Perhaps due to time or perhaps due to the vampire's control, but it could be possible that there may be another opportunity to ask her more questions, such as this, if she has any other ones available. Because it seems like knowing the accurate number of fetters would be beneficial in determining.
Well, I mean, still trying to figure out what a fetter is, right? Let's say there's two. Let's say the ring is one. Why would his fetter work and mine not?
The fetters, although fetters are not essentially equal, the difference would be, my guess anyway, in power between the two of you. If the necromancer is stronger than you, then they would be able to stop you from interfering. Assuming the items are roughly significant. For example, a wraith who is bound by love would care more about a symbol of their love than they would about a childhood home, perhaps. But if the items are mostly equal, then it would be your power versus theirs.
What was the item that Enzo had? We saw him manipulating it.
It's a locket
Oh.
that I gave her.
And because, Eric, you do not have any control over the spirit form.
Well, I'm not a powerful necromancer either, so, there's that.
If you don't mind my prying, what's the other object?
Oh no, pry all you want. And I'll present the ring to her. So it's a wedding band. We never really got to tie the
She
knot.
will reach for the ring. May I?
Of course.
And you see she takes a look at the ring, and you watch as the small voodoo doll close to her shoulder begins to crawl along her arm. And then she looks at it and she goes, "Oh, I've noticed too. They're so cute though. Here you go. I have a thing for love stories, so I'll help you walk your way through this issue. 2 of her fetters were given to her by you. Correct?
That is correct.
And they are both related to love.
That is also correct.
Specifically, her love for you would be fair to say.
I would hope so, yes.
Have you noticed the threads?
The threads.
It is possible she has 3 fetters.
Or more,
And
as you
the
said.
third, possible. The third one might be you.
Okay. I still feel like they're all kind of related.
To be. Right,
Can
are
she have
human.
one unresolved issue that has multiple fetters associated with it?
Sure.
Would solving
if she
one
had
issue break multiple fetters?
It could. If her regrets are only related to her love life, then it's possible all of her fetters are monuments.
If we were able to resolve the complication, would the necromancer still have control over her spirit if she's able to achieve her end wishes outside of his care?
Not if she is able to move on. As far as I know, there are no necromancy that can affect a soul that is left onto whatever comes next from here. However, depending on what you all are willing to pay, there are other options available to you.
Here we go. Here's the sales pitch.
Assuming that the two objects, you and this ring, are fetters together, it would not be difficult for me to summon her here, and I could bind her to an object. I'm told that my dolls are quite pleasant for that, actually. If you had a body that was uninhabited, I could do something similar for that, though it is very frowned upon to do that to a living person. But golems are fine. Homunculi as well. I could just bring them here. They would be able to stay within these hallowed halls for a time, but they wouldn't really be able to leave. And third, I could bind them to you. Each one requires more effort, so payment would be more or less depending on what you would want me to do.
I'm sorry. So what's the price?
Well, first there would be boons owed. It sounds like you are dealing with a particularly nasty vampire. And my reputation in Los Angeles is already not exactly liked. So, doing so would put me in the crosshairs of this being. So I would want a major boon from you.
Would that major boon be eliminating that vampire?
Oh, that would be an entirely different thing to discuss. I am not an assassin, though I do know some. But that would be a separate conversation. If you want me to provide one of my dolls for her to inhabit, I would accept payment in monetary funds for one, maybe a couple $100. If you want me to provide a golem body, I would need a boon from all three of you for that.
Summoning her spirit here and tying it to something, whether yet to be decided, would that prevent this vampire from controlling her any further?
Absolutely, as long as the object itself is not destroyed. If you'd like, I could turn it into a fetish for you as well. It would let you use it. For example, a magic sword, a gun, a board game. Well, that's really more of the hollow ones, really. But could do it. I would recommend obtaining her consent first. A fetish that does not want to be one is not a good idea. But it could be done.
As awesome as that would be, That's not my goal. If I can resolve whatever is keeping her here, that's what I would like to do. As far as I know, she doesn't need a golem body or to be a really awesome cult peacemaker. As much as I would love that so much.
The choice is yours, of course. I could simply bring her here and leave her within an warded circle. I will warn you, not all of us are as benevolent, and leaving a spirit unattended is like leaving gold unattended. Many will take the opportunity of giving it, but again, it is your choice. I want to see where this love story goes.
Regardless if we decide to tie her to an object here so that she can no longer be manipulated, would you still be willing to at least summon her here so we can have a conversation?
Of course. You will still owe me the boon regardless of how the conversation goes, but
The boon was for a golem.
Boon from all of you was for the golem body. Summoning
for the doll, you said a few $100.
Yeah, summoning the spirit requires a boon from you, since that will make more of the vampires from Los Angeles upset with me. But I can guarantee that she will be here at least for, let's say, 3 hours. That should be enough for you to have your conversation.
Oh, is it not a major boon?
A major boon.
I mean, I'm already down the rabbit hole, right? And I mean, we are playing for the same side.
Oh, we are, but I have bills that must be paid. And although I do find tragic love stories to be endearing, I still have to survive. And I do like going to Los Angeles a lot.
How do you feel about Cleveland?
It does have a fun museum for music.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Okay. All right. We will do this in my private sanctum. After that, we can arrange for movement to another location. Give me an hour, and then I will let you know when it is time.
Very well.
All right. And what about the two of you? Do you need anything?
No, just here for moral support.
No, actually, she needed protection from spirits. That was point number 2 we made earlier.
Oh, I could address that. I have the ability to ward her off from any type of intrusion from spirits. So yeah, that was not an issue. I think again, the reason why we approached, one of the reasons why we came was because I did not want to limit your ability for being able to talk to spirits, since your fiance is a spirit, and my method would essentially cut off communication and interaction with the spirit world in general. So,
well, this seems like a much better plan. We just skip to the chase. Bring her here.
Well, I will be honest, this vampire, I do not like him. I do not like the fact that he asked for us to eliminate innocent individuals. And I like the fact that these innocent individuals now have probably a ticking time clock before they are killed by someone else. So, if possible, I would like to eliminate this vampire for the harm that he's done to us and the harm that he's planning to do to other individuals. But that's just a personal standpoint for me. Um, with that said, for you, I did not get the chance to get your name. What is your name?
Azariah. Though my friends call me the Voodoo Princess.
Azariah. Chiharu bows very low in a sign of respect. I am Chiharu Sampson. It was a pleasure to meet you. In terms of any other questions, I think the only question I would know is who here among your tradition has more interaction with were creatures?
I know Idris gets along with them, and she will gesture to the man at the other end of the table. As far as I know, he is totem. He is a totem spirit. There's also a woman with the cult of ecstasy, I think, that has some connections to the Black Furies, but I don't know too much.
Ooh. How much? How now? Oh, see, I'm quite familiar with them. I see. How much would I know about the Black Furies?
I would say you'd know the basics. They
Basics.
are. Yeah, I would say you'd have access to the basic knowledge about who the Black Furies are.
Gotcha. Perfect. Do you happen to know her name by chance?
I believe she goes by Mary, though I don't know if that is her actual name or not. I know she is, her totem is the spirit of cannabis. So, she is very relaxed and a lot of fun, but you should be prepared.
What is cannabis?
Marijuana. What is there? Weed. Don't know of any other names.
I think of her. Is that is a drug, correct?
Yes. Depending on how you define the word drug.
Let's see. I apologize. I'm not well versed in those items per se.
She is fun to be around, though. I would recommend preparing yourself. I'd buff your resistances to drugs just a little bit.
Thank you for that recommendation. I will look into it immediately when I attempt to locate her. And I appreciate your guidance in all of this. This should help out immensely.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else that you all need, I guess I'd better go and get ready.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Azariah.
And as she leaves, I think that is a wonderful opportunity to finish our game for the evening. We definitely went overtime, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully it was worth it. So we'll go ahead and let these wonderful people tell you who they are and where you can find them. And we'll start with Kira.
Hi, so I'm Kira858. This was an absolute blast being able to play with this group and seeing how we're progressing further in this project, to see how big of a rabbit hole Eric plans to dig himself deep into. I mean, I'm a perfectly fine individual, but Eric has Greek tragedy written all over him. So in terms of content, you can be able to find me on Twitch at TheKira858, as well as YouTube for the Cookout TTRPGs, where we have a wide variety of TTRPG goodness. You will find like most of the individuals in this cast was actually in some of the shows that we have in place. With also new shows coming up in the near future. So keep an eye out on our Twitter at TheKira858 for an upcoming announcement that you'll see regarding perhaps a new show. But the big thing for me is, as you can see from the side, we have a brand new comic book company called Snowstorm Comics, which is a company that was established not too long ago. We should be having our first comic released in the next few months along with our website. So all of this information and more can be found out in the near future. So just make sure to follow me on Twitter at BKR858, or if you're on Blue Sky or Threads, because Twitter is going down in flames, is crashy like a Bethesda game or day one.
Sorry, you mean X now, right?
Oh yeah, X Zitter, or I call it shitter now. That's pretty much what it is. So if you're on Blue Sky or if you're on Threads, you can also follow me there at the Kira858. Well, I probably will be start posting going quite a bit more, and that's me.
All right, next up, Ari.
I'm Ari. You can catch me here, causing chaos. It's fine. It's all fine. So far I'm only on Twitter because I'm still waiting on Blue Sky to give me my invite code. Pray that it comes by the end of the month because I feel like Twitter's about to implode. But until then, you can come over to my Possum Emporium that's over on Twitter. It's Small Shadow Snack. It's just possums and photos of my cat being cute. But that's all I got today.
Those are the best Twitters.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Quinn.
Well, this has been a fun game. Hey, everybody. It's Quinn. You can find me on X or the Twitters at Q Sellers or the Mercenary Storyteller. I'm not doing a whole lot right now than this online. But yeah, I look forward to what shenanigans come up next week. Thanks for making me talk all the time, guys. I mean, you can't. I feel like you can only really blame yourself. And you're like, oh well, Eric should go definitely have that conversation, and then it all goes to shit. And you're like, oh, why did Derek do that? Well, I mean, I think we all need to take a little bit of the responsibility here. Just saying.
I think the conversation went great. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think we did good.
A for effort.
We but to summon a spirit, you know, it's all going according to plan. We're bringing her here.
Exactly. We have made far more steps with you in the front for that ordeal than any of us attempt to have that conversation. Because again, you saw my pat, so that's all you need to know.
Too kind. Anyway.
All right. And with that, I thank you for giving us a watch, and I hope you will join us next week as we continue this story and see what the consequences of their actions will be. See you next time.
You always say that. You always have that. Consequences.